y'all listen, there's no better time than now to quote Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice, Jane Austen, when he said, "My good opinion, once lost, is lost forever." If that don't, listen. Get it, don't be timid when you ain't it, love upon it, give along, need it. My name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related, and I am here to put you on, okay? We are back today to talk Love is Blind, Season 7, Episodes 1 through 6, and if you've been here any length of time, you know that when I cover couple reality shows, we're gonna go couple by couple. I'm gonna let you in on the journey, and we'll go from there. So let's start out with my prediction. If you go back and watch my Meet the Cast video where I went over the 15 men, the 15 women, I made a prediction. And I said that Garrett, the quantum physicist, and Taylor, the clean energy policy lady, were going to be a match. And I mean, they're a match because now they're engaged. But this journey was not, for me, an easy one. We started off very strong. Initial meeting, it was like, oh, they both have scientific tattoos. He is giving all of the good energy to her, and she's reciprocating. They had so much in common. She knew the dadgum theorem, Pythagorean theorem, whatever it was, the volatile theory, whatever it was. She knew what he was talking about, Heisenberg, and he knew about hers, and it just felt like a match made in heaven. Well, that didn't last too long because the next meeting, she busts out and says, "I don't want to give you my mom's first name because it'll give away her ethnicity." And the room shifted. His attitude definitely shifted, and he goes into this whole diatribe about how she's holding back, how she's moving very calculated, how she doesn't want him to know, and he just makes it clear he's only ever dated YTs. That's what he said, y'all. That's what he said, and I definitely felt the energy shift. She took it on the chin, though. Apparently, it didn't bother her, so I don't know if this is something she's accustomed to dealing with in the dating world or what, but she was quick to get over it, and their relationship progressed. They shared some good moments after that. It seemed like they were opening up and getting vulnerable. He said, "At this point, none of it matters what you look like. It doesn't matter. I just feel like we're the best for each other." And ultimately, he decides that he wants to propose. He proposes. Their meeting was really, really good. You can tell she was absolutely into him. He was surprised, but into her as well. There was no real awkwardness, in my opinion, during the official proposal when they met face to face. And so they're at it now. As far as the little post decision day vacay that all the couples take, they're doing what needs to be done. He has mouth tape, and I don't know if it's for sleep apnea, if it's for snoring or whatever, but he sleeps with a piece of tape over his mouth. Other than that, they're doing well. Apparently, according to them, they are the only couple who has not yet gotten bucky naked. If everything is truthful that they're telling, I wouldn't be surprised if they damn was lying about it. Next, I have to talk about 4 people. Well, I have to talk about 3 because this was a little bit of a love triangle. We had Hannah, which she's a choice. We have Nick D, who started out as F-boy, but really is not giving as much F-boy vibes, in my opinion. And then we had Leo. Leo was the art dealer who was completely self-obsessed with his family's riches, with his inheritance, and he thinks he's him. Dare I say, he knows he's him. Financially, he's wearing the Rollie in the pots. He's telling the dudes about his money. He's spending hours with Brittany, who thinks she is the bee's knees, honey, about his money. He's telling everybody about his money, what he does. He's fortunate. A lot of people got cancer. A lot of people passed away, left him an inheritance at a very young age, and that's him. Nick D used to play professional football, but not in the league. He was in, not the NFL, but he was in some other arena football, maybe, leagues. And again, he came off as Rico Suave. So throughout this journey in the pods, Hannah is torn between Leo, who's telling her he's got another interest, but he's got that bread and he really likes her, versus Nick, who is saying he likes her from the beginning, right? She gets nervous because she doesn't think she's good enough. She very much gives Chelsea, if you remember Chelsea from season 6, very much insecure. I think as it relates to how she presents, right? Is he gonna like me? Am I too big? Am I too tall? Am I not attractive enough? And so that played out. She softballs this thing about her weight when she was in school and her mom locking the snacks away from her. Nick laughs. Leo just, I don't know if Leo really acknowledged it. He just wanted to make sure she wasn't big now, is what it gave for me. Leo, again, throughout his time, is determining whether or not he wants her or Brittany, but apparently Hannah allegedly is his first choice. Well, with Nick, she decides after talking to the girls, I'm so insecure. I feel like with him, I'll have to go to bed with makeup because I just know he's so fine. And the girls are like, well, why would you do it? Why would you even deal with him? No, just let him go. And so she goes in there and reluctantly says goodbye to him. And he's like, yeah, I understand. I hate that, but you're my only one. And I guess he tells her, she says that he says he's going to go home if she doesn't want him. But she schedules another date with him. And he's still there. And so ultimately she decides that she wants to give him another try. This time they're building. She's putting all of that aside. And ultimately she chooses him. When she chooses him, she knows she has to have the conversation with Leo, but Leo spazzes the hell out. Leo cussing her out. What the F, Hannah? If I proposed to you right now, would you still want him? How can I get you, my girl? Meanwhile, he got another bird on a string. Leo, weird. It was very manipulative. It was very ugly. It was very aggressive. She's at this point boo-hoo crying, big tears. He leaves there, he goes and talks to Nick. All the guys are talking, and he's like, she couldn't control her emotions, she was just crying. And Nick was like, listen, what we got is solid. I've been chose. That's my woman. And Leo's like, well, we're gonna meet again, and da-da-da-da. And Nick's like, well, do what you gotta do. And I said, that's a self-assured man. Whatever you think about Nick D, in that moment, he was self-assured about it. And so after that whole spell, she decides she needs to tell Brittany, his other love interest, about what happened. He did this, he said this. I got emotional, he was super aggressive, and he said, forget about Brittany, it's all about you, which he did. So then enter Brittany. Now, Brittany says that she's God's gift to this universe. That's why I said in my short, and I'll put them in this video. I'll probably put them at the end of the video, all the shorts I did today on it. But basically, she could have any man she wants. She dates rock stars. And Leo, I like your money, and I'm used to being 100% taken care of, but baby, I don't need to be here to bag a man with money. All right. And so he likes her, but I don't know what level it was on. I don't get his motivation of trying to string two women along. Maybe it was to make him feel some kind of way. But again, I feel like he and Brittany were honestly the better match because they both seemed very superficial and into whatever they were into. So when he comes out and talks about his wealth and affluence, that's right up her alley, baby. Because she said the rest of these men are talking 50-50, and that's not my ministry. That's not my love language. And so they're going at it. So anyway, since Hannah has now told her, when Leo and Hannah meet up again, Leo's trying to do damage control at this point. He's like, look, listen, I'm glad we mutually decided to break up. She's like, did we? Nah, bro, you was begging me. You were begging. You were baby, I'm begging. Listen, that's what was happening. You were about to get a life sentence. You were begging her to stay with you. And so now he wants to do damage control because he wants to see what's going to shake with Brittany, right? And at this point, Hannah is done with the conversation. She's done with him. She's like, do whatever you want to do. It ain't my business. But she gets out and she tells Brittany what happened because it's girl code around these streets. I will say I did like the dynamic of the women this season. I also enjoyed the fact that we got exposed to way more of the singles than we have, to me, in previous seasons. I think there were a total of 7 couples that got engaged, but only 6 went on vacation, and we'll get into that at the end. So then we dealt with Leo and Brittany. They end up getting together. Weird, awkward when they meet in person. Very strange, very odd, wouldn't recommend it. He thinks that she's beautiful, but she's looking at him like, what the hell did I do? This is the most awkward thing in America. This was the couple that wasn't selected to go on the post-decision day vacay, but they go on their own trip to Miami, and apparently several weeks later, they're broken up. And I know why. Because Leo didn't need to be on the show. I don't know why Leo was here. To talk about his money and his Rolex? What were you here for? Why are you here, Ike? That's how I felt about it. And so now we have Hannah and Nick D. They're so in love. They meet, and she's the one that's disappointed. Not all, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I'm insecure. When you see him, you didn't want no short king. She said, I just imagined he was bigger. He said he was 5'11" and da 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 da. And I'm like, girl, with your heels on, he was still taller than you. You said you're 5'9". He's a couple inches taller. What did you expect? I expected him to be bigger. And so she's just really kind of, she puts on for their meeting. They kiss, they hug, they do all of the things, but ultimately she was not attracted to him at that day where he proposed. Baby, she went into that little office area and was like, what the heck? Next, let's talk about Alex and Tim. Now, I'll be honest with you. I didn't care for Tim. And that might be an upset. That might make people feel some kind of way, but I didn't. I felt like every conversation was centered around him trying to trauma bond with this girl. He's dumping immense amounts of trauma in first, second dates in the pods. And really conversation moving about himself. There was a couple moments where she shared some things about her dad and her mom never having been married and having MS, and the man that she was with for 15 years walking out on her when she was sick. And he proceeds to talk about his siblings who are no longer here. Again, it really seems centered around him. Everything was like, I find you worthy to bring to my parents, or I see this, or it was really centered around him. And I felt like she got emotional, moved, like he gave a bracelet from one of his sisters that had passed. It just, I don't know. I just didn't like it. And so they meet, and it was kind of an awkward meeting, if I can be honest. One thing about Tim is he gonna wear them hoochie daddies. He's gonna wear those hoochie daddy shorts every chance he gets, and this was no different. And so they meet, and again, it was okay. She looked stunning in her dress, but like she was saying, she was nervous to meet him because she's like, I'm not a small girl. But she does give mid-size. She's very put together. I thought the red dress was very flattering for her, and he didn't seem to have no issues with it. But again, there was just this weird, I don't know, it just didn't feel all the way organic, the meeting. When they go on vacation, apparently they're hitting it off. He likes to joke a lot, and she gets annoyed. And so I immediately saw that, and I was like, is this gonna work? How is this gonna go? And so they're there. They apparently they get busy the first night. Everything's cool till the night of the mixer. They're with the girls, he's with the guys, having a great time, talking to everyone. But later that night, the cameras didn't capture this, but one of our other couples, they caught it. But apparently they get into it. And I want to know, Alexandra, aka Alex, what did you call that man? Did you call him the B word, sis? What'd you call him? She said that she had gotten into a place where she wanted to disconnect. She didn't want to talk to anybody. He didn't understand it, so he's trying to talk to her, and she doesn't want to be talked to, and it gets aggressive, I guess. The argument ensues. She calls him out of his name. He's trying to get out of the situation, but he said that that was a problem as well. They get together to talk about it afterwards, and he gave very obstinate, I don't know what I want to do anymore. And she's like, I'm sorry for my part. He didn't give no apology. And now you can't argue by yourself. He does say to us earlier, he removes himself from any situation where he gets angry or wants to argue, yell, any of that. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like anything about it. And again, we don't know the details of what happened. I just know the response. And so he's getting back, and he said, I don't know if I want to move forward. She goes over to him, grabs his hand, is hugging him. I'm sorry, let's try to make this work. And I just don't like the optics of it. I don't like how any of it felt. I'll be interested to see what happens as they go forward, if they move forward. Again, I'm not digging Tim at all. Next couple, we have Monica and Steven. Honey, Steven, 10% Congolese, Nigerian, Ghanaian. Listen, and he's proud of it. He just found out some years ago that he's not half Italian like he thought he was. So as we're going through that, Monica is 37, and of course one of the oldest. She might be the oldest participant this season in the show, and she's gone into it, and he immediately lets her know that he cheated in the last relationship, and she's really letting him off the hook. And I felt like, and you guys put it in the comments, let me know what you thought, but I honestly felt like she was excusing a lot of things that she didn't have to. Like, it happened in the past, that's fine, but you don't have to give him a pass for it, because he needs to sit with it and deal with whatever those things were. And I saw that a lot. in their communication back and forth. It seemed like she was just willing to let a lot go because she said he's an amazing person. Now, he does give that he's a very nice guy. Ultimately, he does propose, and they seem like they have a great chemistry. Again, she is one of those women that come from, I guess, a pedigree, right? And so she says, in this instance, usually I'd be worried about what prestigious school they went to, what they do for a living, and in this case, I don't, because Steven is an electrician. He went to 2-year community college, is what she said. But it doesn't matter because he's a nice guy. I'm concerned about the dynamic in the relationship because she is such a powerhouse and I think a high earner. And so I do wonder, and not that electricians don't make really good money depending on if he's a journeyman or whatever. I know they can make money as well. But I do wonder about that dynamic. He's very catering to her so far, like getting her slippers. Baby, could you bring that? Let me make sure the temperature's right for you. And I love a doting man, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. There seems like there may be a power imbalance in the relationship. You guys let me know what you think of Monica and Steven. And Monica is actually the one that noticed Alex and Tim's situation. And he says, no, I didn't really notice, but I was further away. And she seemed really concerned. And so I appreciate that in Monica. Next, we have Ashley and Tyler, y'all. Ashley and Tyler are my favorites. Instantly, I knew I loved Ashley W. And Tyler, he came there for love. I don't care what nobody say. He was in it to win it. He loved her down since the beginning. He was like, my girl. I knew his intentions from the beginning. He was vulnerable, but it wasn't too much. You know what I mean? He was very concerned about her and what she needed. The written prayer probably sealed the deal for me. I absolutely love their dynamic. I don't want to say it was slow, but it was definitely a patient build. You know what I mean? But he knew almost automatically. And when they saw each other, it was so amazing. The chemistry was on point. They immediately both were into each other. I loved everything about it. Ashley is beautiful. Tyler's handsome. I can't wait to see what happens with this couple. I hope it's all on the up and up. I hope it's everything we need it to be. Don't freaking disappoint me, Tyler. Don't do it. Next, we have Marissa and Ramses. Now, Ramses was the one with the blush pants and the blouse on, right? And the feathers in his hair. And I didn't know what to make of him, but as soon as I met Marissa, I knew that they would be a thing. Now, this was another love triangle because she also had a very strong connection with Bodhi or Bodan, right? The guy from Ukraine. Both were in the military. They had that connection. He and Ramses were both married before, but Ramses was the one who ended up getting her heart. And honestly, they're both so eclectic that it absolutely gave kindred spirit. After one night, he tells her his zodiac sign. The next thing, she's breaking it off with Bodan, and they're next in line to be married. And he wrote her some Bridgerton style poetry. It was a moment. They meet in person, and she's cute. He's handsome. It was fine. Definite chemistry there. He says that she's definitely his type. She says she was used to dating hyper masculine military guys, and he's not that. They said they have amazing chemistry, baby, on the post decision day retreat. She throwing it out of every draw. They are getting it in on the regular. She's sexed up, hopped up. That's how she likes it. Is that it? No, that's not it. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Y'all, that's all the couples. I will insert my shorts here so you can see my live reactions as I was watching these episodes today because I had a lot of feelings immediately. What couple do I think are going to make it? Let's go couple by couple. Garrett and Taylor. If they don't have family issues and if he doesn't switch on her, I'm going to give it a thumbs up after watching this first week of episodes. Hannah and Nick, no. We know Brittany and Leo is a no. We know that. Alex and Tim, no. Monica and Steven, I'm going to say yes, but I do have my concerns, y'all. I have my concerns with that. Ashley and Tyler, absolutely yes. Marissa and Ramses, I don't know. She might be a party girl, give them a whirl. So the jury is still out on Marissa and Ramses. But y'all, those are my thoughts on the first 6 episodes of Love is Blind. Drop it in the comments. Let me know. Now, y'all know I hate being right all the time. But I told y'all Garrett, the physicist guy, and Taylor, the clean energy policy person, were going to be a match. I'm watching season 7, episode 1, Love is Blind. And I was correct, Amundo. I'm here for all of this so far. Nick D is definitely giving F-boy vibes. Hannah just seems confused at this point. And I like, what is it, Ashley W. I think she's nice. And Tyler actually presents better on camera than he did in the pictures. Brittany's different. When she said, I can pull any one of these men I want to in here, and Garrett walked out that room talking about, yeah, no, she's definitely not for me. Editors, you're petty, but you're funny, and I like it. You guys, I'm into it so far. Drop it in the comments below. Let me know if you're watching the new season of Love is Blind and what you think so far. I'm going to get through these 6 episodes so I can do my official review, but I'll be checking in. I don't know, y'all. Is it just me, or did the energy change when Taylor said she was a different ethnicity? If you guys are new here, my name is Ashley. This is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related. Y'all know I'm here to put you on, and we're watching Love is Blind, season 7. Yeah, Garrett, I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know what's going on, and I don't know why she accepted that as a response. I felt for Taylor. We also had Tyler and Ashley W. have a deep emotional session where he opens up about his childhood and his mother being disowned because of the race of the man she decided to have children with. Ashley W. super compassionate, loved how open he is, and he said, we go together now, real bad. Meanwhile, Hannah, is she going to be a new Chelsea, y'all? I don't know. She's giving very much, she's not confident in who she is. Do I think Nick D is a F-boy? Potentially. He just said, though, I don't give a F what you look like. Well, that's a lie. I'm interested to see what this is going to look like in real life. But yeah, y'all drop it in the comments. Is she another Chelsea? I don't know. Got them thigh-high boots on, girl. Where are you going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Ladies, keep your options open at the very least, because Leo don't want you. Leo want that little Brittany girl. Come on, Hannah. Come on. Be smarter than your average bear. Y'all, just figure it out. Y'all got some days. Use all the time. What are y'all doing? Okay, I'm back on their team now. Garrett and Taylor, them letters made me cry. Super emotional.
I wasn't coming in here.
It feels real. It feels real, but we're going to see. The jury is still out, y'all, because we can't trust them. This is just episode 2. He's about to propose.
You're an incredible person.
9 days.
I think you're intelligent.
I think he's about to propose.
Very caring,
I'm here for this.
You're authentic.
This moment
passionate.
feels super real. I need a venting session about Leo and damn Brittany. I think they deserve each other. I think already they're a damn match made in heaven, because really they can't get off their own jocks, like, at all. I'm blessed, I'm fortunate, I hate to talk about it, but I'm gonna spend this whole entire meetup talking about the wealth and what I've inherited and how my business does so well. You know, God forbid, I don't want to be 50-50. I want to pay something, but I want her to pay something too. And then you have Brittany. If I wanted to marry for money, I would have married a long time ago. But I am used to being taken care of 100% because I am her. Again, and I feel reassured to hear that. Leo, Brittany, be well. Be well. She said that most of the guys that she's encountered so far are on some 50-50 type of energy. And myself, that's not my ministry either. But I think there's balance, and you can tell she's leading with that, and finances are very, very, very important to her, and they're important to Leo too. I think this is what he leads with. I think this is how he feels he will be attractive to women, and she's already picking out baby names. Y'all drop it in the comments below. Let me know what you think of these two. Very interesting dynamic so far. Again, I'm still on episode 1, so we have a lot to go, but